Okay, everybody, hello and welcome to the presentation. Thank you so much for being here. Howdy and hello to you. Happy Saturday to you wherever you are in this beautiful world. Appreciate all you guys being here. I truly do. So happy. Hopefully you're staying. You're warm wherever you are. All right, everybody. So this is our Saturday presentation, and this is open mic night. Open mic night. So hello, everybody. A couple of things before we get into the show. First of all, this is kind of a late. It's supposed to be laid back, but I don't really do much laid back. I'm rather formal in most times. But anyway, I'm working on that. I am working on trying to be a little less formal. But yeah, no. Anyway, so this is open mic night, is what it is this evening. If you want to go to my website, it's very simple, bishopjameslong, Long.com. bishopjameslong, Long.com. There it is. That is the website. If you want, that's perfectly fine. If you want to go to the church's website, which is far more important, that is usocc.org. usocc.org. That is the church's website. I want to remind everybody that I do have everything is up there now. And as far as our Bible study and our night prayer coming up at the top of the week here on Monday, so that's all there for you. So we do ask that you join us. We would love to have you guys consider stopping by and saying howdy to us. So every Monday through Friday at 9:45 p.m. we pretty much open the music or open the chat to everybody. And then we stop chatting. We ask people to stop chatting at 10 p.m. Eastern because we're engaged in prayer. So Monday through Friday, we have prayer. Monday through Friday. And if you want to participate, we'd love to have you guys. For those of you who are on TikTok, you don't have to do anything. Just go to the profile. It's all there for you. And of course, if you are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or YouTube's not on there, but Facebook and Twitter, Rumble, all that other stuff, you guys, it's there for you guys. We start at 9:45. All right. I pretty much have been I'm a pretty formal, for the most part. I'm trying to work. I have a very nerdy, dry sense of humor. So I can admit that my sense of humor is very nerdy. I will admit I'm a nerd. I'm a never-ending radical dude. You see, that's what I'm talking about. That's nerdy, but nonetheless. So I've always been serious for the most part, and I have got to learn not to be so serious because I don't know. It's hard for me to just let my hair down. I can't believe someone said you're wearing a wig. So, and again, let me just make this clear. If I am wearing a toupee, I'm going to sue the company for everything that they're worth because number one, they didn't they didn't measure it right. I need hair down here because you can land a 747 on his forehead. Oh yeah, so see, that was a nerdy joke, but that's like anyway. So that's what I'm talking about. This funny thing. Yeah, first is the makeup. Now it's a wig. Well, what else? Good grief! I'll tell you what. But in all honesty, so when I first started, Chrissy, they were right because I didn't know anything about TikTok. I knew nothing about it, and I just thought, well, we'll just push the go live button. And I thought, okay, let's go live. So I pushed the go live button, and people kept saying, "You're wearing makeup," and it was like, "Will you stop it? I am not. Knock it off." Because it was making me mad. It was like, okay, stop, enough. And then I was doing a show and I looked at the monitor there and I thought, well, good God, I look like I have makeup on. Because my lips were as red as ruby. And I realized I had a filter on. And I had no idea how in the heck I had that filter on, but the filter put like makeup all over me and red lipstick. And I was like, well, good grief. I'm just kind of ticked off that no one, asked me for a date. I mean, I looked pretty dashing with the blush and the red lipstick. No, not one person asked me out on a date. And I thought, if I can't even get a date wearing makeup, I am really messed up. You see, that's kind of a nerdy joke. I accept that. nonetheless. So here, so I appreciate you guys being here, wherever you are in this beautiful world. So, folks, for those of you who don't know, Miss Wilma will not be here with us tonight. She is still sickly. She is still sickly. I talked to her today, and I'm absolutely convinced she is. You know, she kissy suck faces all those boys at Walmart. She has a lot of Walmart boyfriends, by the way, and I know she's probably watching, and she's probably saying, "No, I don't, little buddy." Yes, you do. Yes, you do. This is exactly why you have bronchitis. She kissy suck face all these Walmart boyfriends because she's like, "Oh, I need a card. I don't have one of those electric little cards." This is Miss Wilmo shows up there. "Oh, I just don't know if I can walk this whole store. I need an electric card. I wish some man would help me." And then, of course, a man who desperately, "Don't worry, madam, I'll find you one." He goes out scurrying all over Walmart and he ends up finding a cart. She knows how to play the game. She knows how. Before Miss Wilma needed one of those carts, you know, the Walmart little carts that you have, she tried to take one out. So, you know, she tried to take one apart, you know, to get one. There was an older gentleman sitting on a bench. You would think, I mean, this was Oscar-winning performance. She was like, "Oh, I just don't know how to get this cart undone from this. If I just had a strong feller to help me." And of course, he jumps up. "Don't worry, ma'am, I'll help you." "Oh, that's so wonderful." She got her cart. Then she just took off. Man, Miss Wilma. So it's like, goodness gravy. So I tell you what, so just keep her in your thoughts and your prayers. She is down. She is down today because she wanted to come on today, but she can't. So, you know, it's one of those things. It's, you know, she just, okay. So we'll just do this for our other co-hosts, and let's bring our other co-host on. This is pretty cool stuff. And by the way, we are licensed. Before any hater gators out there want to say something, we are licensed to air music from CCLI, One License, and Loop Community. So this, my dear friends, is protected under license. So just isn't that nice? All right. Hello there, Miss Judy Ann. How are you? I messed that one up.
That's quite the entry music there.
Yeah, this is great. This is the 1940 swing.
Yeah.
I played it just for you because I thought it might bring back good memories.
Actually, it's more like the Flapper Girls of the 20s. That was my era, wasn't it?
Yes, there we go. That's correct. That is correct. It's
you
classic.
missed your mark. You know,
I agree with that.
Before we get
get
started, I need to out somebody.
Oh.
We do have someone in our midst who could go into the entertainment industry on the comedy front. Now, I'm not going to give away personal details because he is very private, but if he does say it's okay, I will divulge that. But this person is here in the chat. He's one of our moderators, and he has put together some of the most hysterical local TV ads for his business, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I saw them today for the first time. It's my type of humor. My whole family loves this type of humor, and I'm still giggling. So I hope it's okay that I name him. It is Jack's Paranormal, and he is quite entertaining. I will leave it at that.
Jack's Paranormal is a funny guy. He really is. He's got a great sense of humor. And so, by the way, make sure, guys, if you are in the chat on Ticker Talkers, make sure you follow our moderators. And so, because, and by the way, and a little bit later on, we're going to bring all the moderators on screen. So here's the dilly, yo. So after we raise the roof, we're raising the roof. We are partying right now. We're out of control.
Are we out of control?
We are raising.
Jax, is it okay if I name your business so people can look up these ads? Because I keep playing that one on a loop. It's hilarious.
Well, I mean,
he does say it's
free advertisement for his business. I mean, go ahead, rock. Yeah, go and say it.
I will say this: if I did not know him, he said yes. Okay, yeah. It's Carpet World of Amarillo.
Yep.
And if I lived in his area, I would do business with this guy just based on these hilarious ads. So yes, you've got to check out Carpet World of Amarillo. Yes, yep. Great going, Jax.
Yeah, good stuff. good stuff. And so later on, we'll bring all on TikTok. So after we close shop on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Rumble, we'll close shop with you guys. And then we'll stay on with our friends there on Ticker Talkers, and we'll bring the moderators up. And it gives you an opportunity, guys, to talk to our moderators and to interact with them, and they can interact with you. I just think it's a good idea. So I like that idea. So have you
I
been
love it too.
doing there,
I
Miss
love it too.
Judy Ann?
Well, I'm doing very
Good.
well, thank you. Ready
Good.
for the show, ready for
Yeah.
Bible study tomorrow, and
Yep. Oh, yeah. Thanks for don't forget, everybody. So tomorrow night is Sunday, and we will have Bible study at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and everybody's invited. You don't have to be Catholic. We just ask people be kind. You don't need anything. It's all provided online. By the way, the readings are all online, everything. So just join us. So it's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm pretty convinced after speaking to Wilma tonight, I do not think Wilma is going to be with us tomorrow for kids Bible study. And I know, but I don't think that's going to happen. So it'll be, Judy Ann and I, we will push through it. Who, by the way,
do our best.
who's praying? Do you know who's praying with me next week? Do we know? I don't know.
Father Sean is praying
Father
with you
Sean.
next week.
You would think
Then
that
I think
I should
it's
know that, but I don't.
Is it Jesse's turn or my turn? Anyway, Father Sean is next week because I know I have to do the prayers for him.
All right.
Prayer petitions for him.
It's funny because I even put the script. I even put the thing out for everybody to sign up, and I've got to.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know. Okay, so Father Sean.
Your Grace, we do have a question. Justin is asking if there is an online confirmation course that he can take that a church accepts. I mean, he could do the.
Which church are you referring to?
Well, I'm assuming this is a Catholic church.
Well, see, no. See, if you're talking about the Roman Catholic Church, you have to go through the Roman Catholic parish, and that is their rules. Though those are, even though they acknowledge our sacraments, you still, if you're going to be confirmed, because you're going to be confirmed in the Roman Catholic Church. Now, if you want to be confirmed with the United States Old Catholic Church, that's a different perspective altogether. And yeah, of course, we have presentations for that, but you have to really figure out where it is that you want, because actually I did a class on sacramental theology here on Bible study. So, not all the mods are part of the members of the USO, and they don't have to be because we welcome everybody. So, yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, you just have to figure out where where your confirmation is going to take place and what church community, and then you have to follow their guidelines and requirements. And that's what we got to do about that. All right. So Judy Ann, what's been going on with you? Talk to us. Tell us about what's been happening.
Talk to you like as in a story or
what's been happening? What's been happening over there?
Well, I'm getting ready for finalizing the next issue. So
next issue for what? Tell everybody in case people don't know who you are. Of
the magazine. I am the editor of the Draft Horse Journal. We're the largest publication of heavy horses, and we're published or circulated in over 22 countries worldwide. So it's a big deal for me because, boy, I tell you, my eyes get tired when I'm proofing all of those articles and show results and sale results.
And what's the thing called? What's the magazine again? Tell everybody.
It is the Draft Horse Journal.
So if you guys want to know, for those of you who are just joining us, it's called the Draft Horse Journal. And there you go. I'm going to put it on the screen. That way you'll know it. And so if you want to check it out, Judy Ann, she's a great photographer. We talked about that last week. And so make sure you head on over there and check that out. It's very simple. It's not very complicated. DraftHorseJournal.com. So
it's fun. If you like Clydesdales and Shires and the big heavy horses, Percherons, Belgians, and even the draft mules and oxen. Now, here's a question for you, Bishop. Do you know what the difference between an ox and a steer is?
One tastes good and one tastes like?
No, it's only age. Once a steer reaches 3 years of age, he's officially an ox.
Oh.
A working ox. Yeah.
Well, what do you think about that, everybody? See, the things you learn. The things you learn. Everybody, there it is. I put the URL up there for everybody. So DraftHorseJournal.com. DraftHorseJournal.com. and our esteemed friend, Judy Ann, and moderator. She's the editor.
Well, I'm just a knucklehead with a camera and a pen. That's all I am, and I love the Lord.
And you love the
That's
Lord. You love the
The
Lord.
long and short of it, yes. I did verify for you. Yes, Father Sean is next week, then Jesse, and then myself.
Good, excellent.
So-
Okay, oh, great. That's wonderful. Yeah,
Oh.
and of course, you'll be with us next week to do our prayer petitions.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I sure will with Father Sean.
So again, don't forget
So-
everybody. So tomorrow, we just started, so we're not leaving. But tomorrow we have 8 p.m. Bible study. So please, good grief, the typing. I mean, King Kong typing.
Wait a minute. What did I do? I didn't
you just
do
typed.
anything, did I?
You just typed.
Oh,
I've
it was a
explained.
cut and
I see.
paste.
No. See, I've explained. I have
Wait.
headsets in. Headsets. The microphone is right here by the speaker, which then booms into my headsets.
I really did not try to do that. I thought cut and paste wasn't loud. I
Kara,
apologize.
I mean, you have like a 1920s keyboard. That's one of the old timey, like bam, bam, bam. Yes, true story.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. Okay, so what do you got for us? Come talk to me. Talk to me. Come on.
Well, as a person who loves the outdoors and I've raised livestock, cattle, horses, this practice really resonates with me. And that is that ducks are becoming soldiers in the quest for pest elimination. I love it, especially from the ecological standpoint and a health standpoint of avoiding chemicals. So with ducks being natural foragers, and they're far less susceptible to disease than chickens, 24 ducks can manage pest control as a labor force for 50 acres. So they have what's called integrated rice duck farming. And this is where they just unleash ducks into these rice paddy fields. They tear up the weeds, they get the pests out, and they leave their manure, of course, as an organic plant food. So you can eliminate the need for artificial fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides. And even though this practice is new to me, it's something that I recently noticed, like in the last few months. It's not entirely new on the global front. Vineyards in South Africa, the rice paddy fields in Asia, and even vineyards in the United States are using ducks. Now, it can't be just any duck. I guess there is a real premium duck you want for this. They're called runner ducks, and they were bred in Indonesia. And they stand more erect like a penguin, and rather than waddling, they run, hence the name runner ducks. So some people might question, well, how can you economically do this if you have to keep 500 ducks year round for these large crops? How do you subsidize that? Well, the hens lay as many as 350 eggs a year. So they do help to subsidize their keep. Now, something my grandmother taught me, she said, when you bake a cake, use a duck egg if you have access to them, because they're fattier and they'll make your cake better. So there you go.
Well, all right. I tell you what, class is in session, everybody. The only duck that I like is duck soup or duck on the plate, or but the truth is, I've never had duck. I've never had
Me
duck.
neither.
I've never had duck, but apparently they're amazing, amazing food. But I've never had. What time do ducks wake up?
Don't know.
Well, I see if Miss Wilma was here, she would say, I don't know, little Betty. Just like that. That's what she said. Actually, they wake up at the quack of dawn. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The quack. See, get it?
Oh, you're just a hoot tonight, aren't you?
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be joke time. We're supposed to be a joke. I mean,
are we telling jokes?
well, yeah, I mean, hello.
Well, I didn't know we were telling jokes today. I thought we were doing these
No,
stories.
this is chill. This is a chill out time right now. We got to chill. I mean, I'm sorry, but so now, okay. So how would you like to do the show, Miss Princess?
No, Princess.
Hmm?
Okay.
Yep.
Why didn't the chef season the chicken?
Why didn't the chef season the chicken? I don't know why.
He didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
I think.
That was really, really, really. I mean, no.
What's that? Well,
Nope.
okay. What's the best way to catch a fish?
With I don't know, with a rod and a worm. I don't know.
Ask someone to throw it to you.
Oh gosh.
No, you didn't like
Man,
that
they
one
are
either?
really, 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 really duck. I mean, well, I tell you what.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, what? Okay, so what do ducks have for lunch?
I don't know. What do they have for lunch?
Well, soup and quackers. Get it? Soup. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. See, those are good. Those are pretty good
That
ones.
that was, that's cute. Well, this kind of, this is on the order of food. What do computers eat for lunch?
I have no idea. What do they eat for lunch?
Microchips.
Oh boy, I'm sorry, folks. These are really nerdy jokes. I mean, these
Wait a
are.
minute. That was a
I
good
was saying that
joke.
I was. I was
Be
saying I
making
was a
food
nerd.
meal now.
I was saying I was a nerd. I mean, again.
Oh.
Well, thank you. Oh, thank you very much, Connie. We got a little bear. That was nice. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, what did one ocean say to the other ocean?
I don't know.
Well, nothing. They just waved. Thank you. Thank you. I'm here all week, everybody. I'm here. I'm here all week. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Boy, that's a very, very exciting audience. Appreciate that. Why don't huh?
Oh, go ahead.
No, please.
Go
No,
ahead.
please. What?
Okay. Why don't physicists trust atoms?
Oh boy. First of all, we have to spell physicists for those in Kentucky. But I don't. Why don't physicists trust atoms? I don't. Why don't?
Because they make up everything.
Oh boy. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. Why don't skeletons fight each other?
I don't know.
Well, I can tell you why. You me tell you why or not? She didn't know.
Tell me why.
She didn't know, everybody. I agree, studio audience. I agree. She didn't know. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Well, because they don't have any guts. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh,
thank you.
give yourself the applause. Well,
I can't help
why
that.
does a chicken coop only have 2 doors?
I'm sorry. Oh, wow. Studio audience. Give her some time. Good grief.
I didn't even get the words out.
My apologies.
Why does a chicken coop have only 2 doors?
Why does a chicken coop only have 2 doors? I don't know. Why is that?
If it had 4, it would be a sedan.
See? People have no idea what the hell you just said. They have no idea what the hell you just said. No idea. They're like, they have a what? They have a what? So, hey, I got a question for you. So why couldn't the leopard play hide and seek?
I don't know.
Well, because he was always spotted. Thank you very much. I appreciate
give yourself
that.
a drum roll for that. Okay.
I can't.
Okay, here's one. There are 3. This is more like a one-liner, right?
Oh boy.
There are 3. There are 3 kinds of people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Those who can do math and those who can't.
Yeah, well, that's really bad because what about the other third person? Sorry, folks. This is really, I apologize. I apologize. Okay, take the donkey out of the studio.
Ornery.
I didn't. Why did the bicycle fall over?
I don't know.
Because it was too tired. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
That is cute. That is cute.
Give me some drink here. Hold on one second. 1 second. I gotta give me a drink here. Gotta freshen up, everybody. Cheers.
Yes. Celebrate.
Celebrate.
Why did the author get married?
Why did the author get married? I don't know. Please tell us.
She found Mr. Right.
See, I knew that was terrible.
That was a good one.
Yeah. It was a good one in your mind. First of all, I want to apologize for everybody. Let me ask you a couple questions. Let's do this. Let's do the twist and turn here a little bit. Let me just move this over. I did not want to expand this stupid thing to these programs. If you just they have an update on this Mac. If you hold it on too long, it expands the whole thing and it messes up the whole entire screen. I am not happy. Now, would you rather live in a world where everyone can see your deepest thoughts displayed above your head, or a world where you can see everyone else's deepest thoughts, but no one can see yours?
I'd rather see everyone else's.
Oh my gosh, Judy, somebody's a little peeping Tom over there. I mean, a little peeping. Jeez, I mean,
well, I would rather that, because sometimes your personal thoughts if anger gets the best of you or
Right.
something, it wouldn't be very pretty. So no, I'd rather see everyone else's.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this, Quinn. Now, because especially now, goodness gracious, with all the terrible things that's going in California, would you rather have the power to control fire, but risk burning everything you touch, or have the ability to control water, but always be dehydrated? That's a tough one. Would you rather have the
Ooh,
power to control fire, but risk burning everything you touch, or have the ability to control water, but always be dehydrated? They're both
I'd
not
have to
good.
choose fire because I don't want to be dehydrated. That's bad.
Yeah, I don't think I would like either one of those.
No, they're both bad. I'd just keep my hands to myself so I didn't burn anything.
I guess you would have to. Yeah. Yeah. Especially that's a tough one,
Well,
isn't it?
if you are going to control water, but you're always dehydrated, then it's a constant state of torment because apparently you can't get enough to be
Right. Right.
replenished.
But it's also a constant, I think, a mental stage of torment of, oh, give me a hug. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It's it's combustion all of a sudden. Now the person just turn to internal combustion. They just catch fire. So you give someone a hug and boom, they're gone. I mean, that wouldn't be very fun at all. Or even in a car, you get in a car, all of a sudden your car goes up. That's no fun either. I wouldn't like either one.
No, I would neither.
Here's a tough one. Would you rather have the ability to make anybody in the world fall in love with you, but never find true love yourself, or have the power to know if someone is lying to you, but never be able to trust anyone? Those, again, difficult. So I'll say it again. Would you rather have the ability to make anybody in the world fall in love with you, but never find true love yourself, or have the power to know if someone is lying to you, but never be able to trust anyone?
Oh, those are ugly choices, aren't
Agreed.
they?
Agreed.
Oh, mm. I don't want to live my life not being able to trust, but I don't want, I'll take the first one.
You would rather have the talent. So you would rather have the ability to make anybody fall in love with you, but you can never find true love yourself, rather than have the power to know if someone is lying to you, but never be able to trust anyone.
Mm, I don't want anybody to fall in love with me. I, mm,
Okay. That's a tough one. I don't like either one.
it's a very tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are bad choices.
That's it. That's why it's would you rather.
Mhm.
They're none of them are
But
any
it's,
fun.
as long as you have the love of Jesus, who else do you need to fall in love with you?
Well, right, but I mean,
So,
if someone wants a romantic relationship, then I can understand they would have that desire.
mhm.
But yeah, it's neither's good. All right, do you have any stories that you want to share with us?
Well, I really shared my story, and that was about the duck soldiers, which I just think that is the cutest thing. And I outed Jack's Paranormal.
Yes,
I
you
did
did,
that.
which is a good thing.
So no, it's a good thing. He deserves to be outed. So I imagine you have some good stories for us.
It's interesting. Here, listen to this story. This is I read this the other day, and I thought, well, that's kind of cool. This is by Ben Hooper, and a Christmas gift from 1978 was found behind a wall of an Illinois home. So Christmas came about 46 years later for an Illinois man who was performing renovations at his childhood home when he found a present that had fallen behind a wall in 1978. Tim King, 53, owner of T. King Construction Services in Lombard, said that he was renovating the bathroom at his parents' house when he found something inside the wall. He said, quote, "We took out a medicine cabinet before we drywalled, and I thought I better just look in there just to make sure there's nothing back there," King told People. And then there was. King discovered a wrapped Christmas gift that had been intended for him to open on Christmas in 1978. He said his parents used to hide gifts in the home's attic, and this one must have fallen into a crawl space without anyone noticing. Anyway, King opened the gift in front of his parents, revealing a set of now vintage Matchbox toy airplanes that his mother had no memory of buying. So, quote, so I have one sister and my mom has always been very picky about getting us the exact amount of gifts, he said. So we've been joking that I've been screwed out of one present for 46 years. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Wow.
I mean,
It is.
those Matchbox, it's a Thunder Jets is what they were called. Those are really, really hard to find these days, and they're pretty special. So that's pretty nice. That's pretty neat. It's a neat little story.
A happy ending, isn't it?
It is a happy ending. Of course, it took 46 years for him to get them, but nonetheless, it's not too bad at all. Here's another story that I want to share with everybody. I would love to make $80,000 to do nothing. Well, Li Ying Shan writes this story. When Shoji Amaramoto was fired from his office job in 2018, his superior had criticized him for lacking initiative and not doing anything of value for the company. Joke's on him, because Amaramoto, now 41, has since spun a lucrative career out of doing nothing. So known as the rental do-nothing guy in Japan, Morimoto's day job involves loaning himself out to strangers who seek someone's company for almost anything at all. And these requests can range from waiting for a marathon runner at the finish line to being video called on a bored client redecorates and cleans her room. And once a client who could not attend a concert with a friend rented Morimoto to take her place. So from the ludicrous to the mundane, Morimoto will simply show up and do nothing other than what he's asked to do, except for adult relations. He says, I've been put in objectively difficult situations, such as standing in line under the blazing sun, standing for hours in the freezing cold, attending parties with only strangers, and standing alone on a stage in front of a large audience without doing anything. The father of a 7-year-old told CNBC, however, no matter what misfortune I've experienced, I feel that it is something special that only happened because I do this job so that I can still cherish it. So that's it. I mean, this guy, he's told NBC, he receives about 1,000 requests per year and lets his client decide how much to pay him. He used to charge a flat rate between 10,000 yen and 30,000 yen, which is about $65 to $195 for a 2 or 3 hour session. And he earned about $80,000 last year. I mean,
well,
all right.
We could do that job, right?
Well, I mean, really, seriously, it doesn't seem, you just go and say, okay, well, what do you want me to do? It's like having an assistant almost. It's like, okay, well, good on him. I mean, and there's a lot of people, especially there's so many people who are lonely and they just want, some type of companionship, friendship. And so there we go. $80,000. $80,000.
Wow.
That's a lot of money just to show up and say, okay, what do you want me to do? That's a lot.
I
But
guess
that just kind of gives you an idea of what are you going to do. So, now, by the way, since you are obviously very involved with animals, and I read this, and this was really interesting. So Ina Fried writes this. Researchers are now building an AI system that they hope will one day allow humans to understand the many languages that animals use to communicate with one another. So understanding what animals are saying could not only aid human knowledge to our world, but advocates say it might also provide compelling case for giving animals broader legal rights. So Nature LM, that's the name of the company. If they're successful in this, it might be something to invest in, just saying. Nature LM is an AI language model that can already identify the species of animal speaking, as well as other information, including the approximate age of an animal and whether it is indicating distress or play. Created by Earth Species Project, Nature LM has even shown potential in identifying the dialogue of species the system has never encountered before. Nature LM is trained on a mix of human language, environmental sounds, and other data. The nonprofit recently secured $17 million in grants to continue its work. Now, it says that we are facing a biodiversity crisis, Earth Species Project CEO Katie said in a demo. Anyway, the situation we are in today is driving from disconnection within the rest of nature world. But I don't know. I mean,
it's interesting, but as with all things AI, I don't trust that it would always remain sound and proper. I think it could be hijacked for nefarious purposes. And anyone who has animals, there's a lot of people on here with cats, dogs, horses, you name it, and myself. If you're tuned into your animals, you already communicate. You communicate by the heart. You love them. You can see that they love you. I don't need AI to tell me what they're thinking. I can already tell you.
Well, here the problem is there's a lot of issues, and it says here in the article, when you add a wrinkle in the translating animal languages is that instead of moving between two known languages, we have a limited understanding of how animals communicate and how they are capable of conveying through speech. So, I mean, we know that, for example, birds make different sounds when they're singing songs as compared to sounding of a warning call. But we don't know if they have obviously alphabet language, or are they saying run now, or are hungry, or we just simply don't know. But it is interesting.
Here's a question for you. Do you believe in pet psychics?
No.
You do not.
No.
I didn't either until it happened to me. There was no way she could have known anything. And she did. I mean, completely different state. And I didn't even know that my friend had contacted her. I used to babysit her dog, and that woman picked up on everything. So
here's
maybe it was a fluke.
I've never met an individual who is a pet psychic, and I've never, because if I'm going to say, yep, I believe in pet psychics, that implies that I have validated someone, not that they need my validation, but or at least verified their statement that they can communicate to an animal. So unless I can verify that, it's difficult for me to say, yep, I believe it. I believe that there are people who truly, but like you do, who believe that they exist. I've never had that experience before. So therefore it's difficult for me to say I believe in it when I've never had that experience. So
now, as a whole, I do not. I don't buy into that. But this woman knocked my socks off. I didn't even know this was taking place. I knew nothing about it. And my friend called me just sobbing, and she said, here's what happened. There was no way she could have known that I was living in Georgia at that time at this house. This woman didn't even know me, but she said, did you have a close friend or a partner that your dog really loved, that Samantha loved? She says, well, she misses the way she played with her frisbees and stuff. You see, Kat had never done that with her dog. I said, play with her. Animals love that interaction with humans. And she said that she would play hide and seek. There was no way this woman could have. She lived in California.
That's
so yeah, it was astounding. It was astounding.
Wow. Well, I would like to experience that one day and see if I can say, yep, absolutely, I stand firm behind it. But at this point in time, I have to say I have never had the experience of someone saying, yep, and here's the proof. So I guess the jury is still out on that. How's that?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to finish a couple of articles here, and then in a little bit, 20, 25 minutes or so, a little longer, we'll go on and we'll bring on the moderators up on TikTok and go from there.
Sounds good. I'll
right.
Go back to moderating until we go online.
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, everybody. That was our Judy Ann. We appreciate her. And there we go. So, yeah, there we go. Okay, folks. So let's go into the, for those of you who are on Facebook and YouTube, because I know Facebook and YouTube says that you can't play that. Yes, we can. We're licensed by CCLI, one license and Loop Community to play. So there we are. Okay, everybody. So, let me tell you about, this is a really interesting article that I wanted to present. I don't know about this one. Listen to this. This is by TK Randall. And you might have heard this. You might not have heard. I don't know. But it says here, could a combination lock prove that it's possible to talk to the dead? Now listen to the article. So the late researcher, Dr. Ian Stevenson, once came up with I think it's Lan Stevenson, came up with a novel way of proving that we could speak to the dead. Dr. Stevenson, who passed away in 2007, was a distinguished psychiatrist who was known for founding the Division of Perceptual Studies at the University of Virginia School of Medicine, a department that was and still is dedicated to the investigation of reincarnation, life after death, and other such topics. Now, during his time there, he and colleagues documented 2,500 cases of children who seemed to recall details of their past lives and conducted extensive research into each one in order to find evidence to corroborate those memories. But it was an experiment set up by Dr. Stevenson in an attempt to prove that communication with the dead was possible that remains the most unique and notable thing about his work at the department. So it is known as the combination lock test for survival. So this unassuming object is essentially little more than a standard 6-digit combination lock and has remained unopened for decades. Okay, Dr. Stevenson reasoned that if he could transmit the combination code for the lock to someone after he was dead, it would conclusively prove not only that our spirit continues to endure after death, but that it was also possible to communicate with those who had already passed on. So sadly, despite his death in 2007, nobody has yet been able to open the lock. Today, the department continues its research into the possibilities of life after death, and in doing so, honors the work of the man who started it all more than 40 years ago. Now, whether anyone will ever learn the code to his combination lock, however, remains to be seen. So here's the deal. If you are psychic, if you are a medium, well, here is your chance right here to make world headline news. Truly, world headline news. Because if you can contact, and I've just given you, again, I've given you the department, the Division of Perceptual Studies at the University of Virginia School of Medicine. It is still going on today. Dr. Stevenson was his name. He passed away in 2007. So if you are a psychic, if you are a medium, contact the University of Virginia School of Medicine and ask for the Department of the Division of Perceptual Studies and say, you have the combination of this 6-digit lock. Folks, if you are able to do this, that would be world headline news. There we go. I think, see, the thing is why not? If you have the psychic, if you have the abilities, well, there you go. I mean, really seriously, why not? See, I don't know if anyone would take that challenge. But if I had psychic mediumship abilities, and if I truly had those abilities, that I would tap into what I tap into, whatever it is. Now, people say it's all demonic. I'm just simply saying, when the argument here, we're not arguing whether it's demonic or not. What we're arguing is, if psychic mediumship if it's available and if it's true, well, you don't want to tell us. If it's true and you have these abilities, then contact the University of Virginia School of Medicine. And you ask for the Division of Perceptual Studies. And you tell them you are a psychic medium and that Dr. Stevenson created this lock, this 6-digit lock, and you have it. You have the information. And make sure you tell them you heard it here, right here. But no, seriously, that would be phenomenal, right? I think it would. So do it. Heck yeah. We'll see if anybody takes that on. I don't know if they will, but nonetheless, all right. By the way, if you are these jawbreakers, if you know, I've never really been a fan of jawbreakers. Be careful. Be very, very careful. Because TK Randall writes of this: a 19-year-old got more than she bargained for when she bit down on the notoriously hard candy, Jawbreaker. Most people will have eaten or attempted to eat a Jawbreaker at some point in their lives, a hard spherical form of candy known for being particularly challenging to consume. Well, for a 19-year-old Canadian student, Javaria, however, the name Jawbreaker turned out to be a little too literal when she tucked into the 3-inch sweet recently. Hoping to crack the candy open, she bit down hard on it, which turned out to be a mistake. Immediately, she felt an intense pain and quickly realized that one of her teeth had come loose. Then, after it had become apparent that she could no longer open or close her mouth without experiencing severe pain, a friend called an ambulance and she was taken to a local hospital. An X-ray confirmed that the Jawbreaker had indeed literally broken her jaw. So, oh goodness gracious, says I bit into it and made a hole, and my jaw started to hurt. My friend looked over and said my tooth was chipped. It hurt bad. I was crying a lot when the ambulance came, and everything was blurry. In the end, she had to undergo a surgical procedure to have her jaw set and then fixed in place with metal wire that will need to stay in for more than 6 weeks. In the meantime, she is limited to consuming an all-liquid diet. Oh, my goodness gravy. Yeah, it's... and it doesn't say the name of the Jawbreaker, regrettably. But it looks like just a round sphere, and then it has like looks like paint dots all over. There's blue, there's red, there's yellow, like blogs, and so I blots, I should say. So no, it's not. I don't think it's something you should. No, could you imagine over a stupid piece of candy? I've never really been into this. I've never really been into. Never really liked it. I don't know. Never. So okay. For again, we're not leaving yet, but don't forget tomorrow we have Bible study. So tomorrow's Bible study. Tonight's open mic. We just chilled tonight. So tomorrow is is Bible study at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please make sure you join us for Bible study. And then don't forget also, Monday through Friday, we have night prayer. It does not air on YouTube, but it airs on all the other formats that you guys are watching. So we usually around 9:45, we open the chat. And then we start at 10 p.m. So on TikTok, it'll start with you guys. Just go to my profile with all you guys. Go to my profile here, and then you can listen and watch night prayer, and we would love to have you guys there. So that's tomorrow, and I'm sorry, Monday through Friday, and tomorrow is Bible study at 8. Goodness gracious, it's hard for me to even keep this all up to. Yeah, and here's the deal with TikTok. A lot of people are just overwhelmed with TikTok, and a lot of people are stressed out about it, and I get it. Oh, thank you very much, Lynn. Thank you. There is a new app that is really catching a lot of people's attention, and it's called Neptune. That's the name of it, Neptune. I mean, this is really, really catching people's attention. So I'm going to be on Fanbase. That's why I'm going to try Fanbase, but Neptune is looking really amazing. So, but right now, if TikTok goes away, so everybody needs to be aware, make sure you go to my profile, and there's a link tree there. Click on the link tree. It has all of my social media links where you can watch the presentations. You need to make sure you subscribe. So if you're on YouTube, subscribe. Night Prayer does not air on YouTube, but it does on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and Rumble, Twitch. It airs all on them, but not on YouTube. Right. It has not been rolled out yet, but I'm kind of in the beta format on the Discord. So I'm learning Discord, and I have already reserved my name. So that's been done. So anyway, you might want to just get a heads up that that's coming out hopefully in a month or so, and it's big. I mean, this Neptune is really catching a lot of steam. So we will see. So yeah. Yeah, I just don't. YouTube. The problem with YouTube is we are licensed. Here's the problem with YouTube: we are licensed to play music to three different professional licensing agencies. And the only problem I don't like about YouTube is, see, every time, no matter what, even if you put their license up there and you say, okay, we are licensed by these three agencies, they still will say, oh, it's an infringement. But then they don't tell you where the infringement is, where you can find it, where you can appeal it. It makes it very, very difficult to find. Whereas Facebook, it's not. It's very simple. They just say there, and then you can appeal it. You can give them your license, and it's cleared. But with YouTube, that we had a problem with that one time because we were licensed with BMI, and YouTube kept telling me apparently that there was an infringement, but I never saw the infringement. I never saw the notification. So that account was actually completely locked and frozen and deleted. And I could never find ever any of those notifications. Didn't even know we had notifications. So that's the problem I don't like with YouTube, because you have to figure out where in the world these infractions are, and I don't like it. So, okay, well, I appreciate you coming in and telling me to let go of religion, but okay, I'm not going to let go of Christianity. It's not about religion; it's about Christianity. I'm a Christian, so no. Anyway, so we don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen at TikTok. Nobody knows. Now, there's people that's speculating. We don't know. Nobody knows. It's just one of those things. It doesn't look good, because TikTok did take it to many federal courts, and they all upheld the ruling. So I don't know. We'll figure out. I just think it's wrong. I think that is really upsetting, because I think it's overreach. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened as far as a data breach. Nothing. And I think to argue, well, it could happen. Well, I'm sorry. You go online, any app you're using, you know darn well, and so do I, you're giving them your data. Everybody knows this. But the government's argument is that, look, it's China and it's our adversary, blah, blah, blah. I don't. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Amy. People have no idea. People are offering gifts on TikTok, so thank you guys. But anyway, I think it's sad. It's frustrating, and there's a lot of people that are really, really overwhelmed right now, and they're overwhelmed because they make their living. So I don't know. Okay, I'm going to move this to there's a former astronaut, by the way. I want to talk about a couple things here. And these are astronauts. So these are people that are very analytical. They're logical. I have a friend of mine, actually I went to high school with, and he is an astronaut at NASA. But TK Randall writes this: a former astronaut saw two smooth metal spheres while flying over Texas. NASA's Leroy Chow had a close encounter with something he could not explain while flying his seaplane in 2023. Chow, who flew on 3 space shuttle missions and also served aboard the International Space Station for several months as commander of Expedition 10, left NASA in 2005 and has since become a successful entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and engineer consultant in the private sector. Well, at the time the sighting took place, he had been flying his private 4-seat seaplane over Texas when he observed what he described as 2 perfectly smooth spheres at an altitude of about 9,000 feet. The spheres were situated approximately 20 feet away from him and were 3 feet in diameter. He says, I didn't see any visible means of propulsion, so I don't know what it would be. He told the New York Post, in other words, pushing it forward to push it. You got to have a jet engine or a propeller or something. So there was nothing around me other than the panhandle of Texas at 9,000 feet on this instrument flight panel, and just suddenly these things appeared. Says they were moving about the same speed as I was in the opposite direction, about 100 to 150 miles per hour. If an airplane flew by me that fast, he says, I'd feel its wake. It would have disturbed the air around my plane. So in other words, it would have made it very choppy. Chow noted that the objects resembled one that he had seen in an image captured on camera over Iraq that had been investigated by the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. And he said, that's what made me think of it. He added, I wonder if this is the same thing. So it's pretty interesting. This is a very respected an astronaut. I mean, he was a commander of Expedition Den and served aboard the International Space Shuttle. I mean, this is not a person who has anything to sell. So it's when you have stories like that, people who are very credible, who come forward, and they're not trying to sell you anything. They're just saying, look, this is what I experienced. I think that deserves a second look. So when people like, obviously, this astronaut, well, I believe he saw something. There's no question. And people say, well, it was a weather balloon. I'm sorry, folks, with all due respect. If you're a commander of an expedition and you are an astronaut that's been months in the International Space Station and you have flown the space shuttle, you're going to know the difference between a metal object and a weather balloon. Because with all due respect, if you can't tell the difference between a weather balloon and a metal flying object, then you probably have no business being an astronaut, let alone being a pilot of a personal aircraft. So that's what I'm saying. When you have individuals who are willing to speak about that, I think that certainly deserves a second look. No question about that. All right. This is a weird story, and then in a moment we're going to bring up the moderators. This is listen to this. This is when I don't know about this one. Sarah Hooper writes this: how we could all soon freeze our bodies and outlive an apocalyptic disaster. A new facility could eventually allow humans to pause their bodies until the future arrives. So, I don't know, that's, Instagram. All right, hold on, Instagram. I got to go in here and add another. That's kind of annoying that Instagram keeps doing that. That's why I don't really like to air on Instagram, because every time you do it, you have to stop after an hour is over. And then you have to go in and get another stream key, which is kind of dumb. It's like, well, what's the point? I mean, you have to do it every single time. It's like, that's dumb. So let me do a stream key and save. All right, now we're back. But anyway, Time Shift describes itself as the world's first. Again, you can say yes or no, but cryopreservation facility, and it's based on the cutting edge AI and these techniques. If the idea comes to fruition, cryopreservation could allow cancer patients to freeze themselves until medicine advances, or allow humans to outlive the apocalypse. AI could also be utilized to help an avatar of the frozen person's likeness speak with their family and friends while their real body is frozen. Now, the facility has been proposed by Dr. Alex, somebody, I'm not even going to pretend to say that name because I can't, a generative AI scientist and an anti-aging researcher. And also, we have a molecular biologist. Anyway, Hashem said that the project is still in the R&D, research, of course, phase. And the primary focus right now is to continue optimizing these preservation process developed by Dr. Alex. And once fully optimized, we plan to test it on animal models and proceed from there. So traditional cryopreservation methods are ineffective and lead to cell death. However, the new method is designed to avoid this problem, you think? So after optimizing the process, the next step will involve testing its efficacy and safety. And there is no specific time frame, but if everything goes as planned, the functional prototype could be ready within 5 to 8 years. So Time Shift also hopes to offer pre-hibernation enhancements, which could also allow those frozen to wake up healthier. So it's called Time Shift. That's the name of the company. A lot of people, I mean, I do believe that this is something that is not going to go away. Let me make that very clear. I think there will be more and more and more of this as the technology, becomes better, and as it becomes a little bit more obviously credible. This is something that I think a lot of people would absolutely consider. I mean, if you are, for example, if you're diagnosed with a terminal illness and you're like, well, no, I don't want to pass away, and you have the money to do this preservation kind of a thing, and wake up 15 years later, 20 years later, or something when they have the cure for it. But I don't know. Then all your family, all your friends, I just I don't know. I just don't know if I would like that, because I don't know. I'm not really afraid to pass away. So, yeah. As you get older, Jane says, as you get older, you get tired, you're ready to go home. Now, for those of you who like Steven Spielberg, well, TK Randall writes this: the iconic director is returning to the famous genre with his first new movie about aliens in almost 2 decades. So last year, we reported on rumors that Spielberg was working on a new movie centered on the UFO phenomenon, a return to form for the director who became household name thanks to movies like Close Encounters of the Third Kind and E.T. Well, more recently, the new details have emerged about the project, including the writer, the actors, and even its name. Penned by David Koepp, who worked with Steven Spielberg on Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the new movie is entitled The Dish. Although the title could be changed before the release. Quote, I am so not allowed to say anything, Koepp said about the wrap, but went on to add that it's great because it's an original. It was his idea, his story, and working on the original is really fun. According to reports, The Dish will begin production in February of this year, with principal photography taking place in Georgia. And it will star Emily Blunt in the lead role alongside Josh O'Connor, Coleman Domingo, Wyatt Russell, Colin Firth, and Eve Hewson. I have no idea who these people are. Little is known about the actual plot of the movie, and while fans are hoping for something along the lines of Spielberg's classic 80s alien-themed blockbuster, right now, all we can do is speculate. So the title, The Dish, suggests that it might feature a scientist or astronomer, played by Blunt, who receives an alien signal through the titular dish. But right now, that's just guesswork. It will be certainly to see what Spielberg comes up with. So there we go. Steven Spielberg is creating a new upcoming UFO movie. And pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like that. That would be good. That would be that would be fun to do something like that. Yeah. So there we are, folks. That's coming up here very, very soon. And I want to do one more, and then and by the way, moderators, hopefully any of these, these articles, if they just grab your attention, we can talk about them. But this is by Owen Hughes. This is Problem. Just 2 hours. 2 hours is all it takes for AI agents to replicate your personality with 85% accuracy. So researchers from Google and Stanford have created accurate AI replicas of more than 1,000 people. A 2-hour conversation with an artificial intelligent model is all it takes to make an accurate replica of someone's personality, researchers have discovered. In a new study published November the 15th to the preprint database, AirX, or whatever, researchers from Google and Stanford University created simulation agents, essentially AI replicas, of 1,052 individuals based on 2-hour interviews with each participant. These interviews were used to train a generative AI model designed to mimic human behavior. To elevate the accuracy of the AI replicas, each participant completed 2 rounds of personality tests, social surveys, and logic games, and were asked to repeat the process 2 weeks later. When the AI replicas underwent the same test, they matched the responses of their human counterparts with 85% accuracy. Now, the paper proposed that AI models that emulate human behavior could be useful across a variety of research scenarios, such as evaluating the effectiveness of public health policies, understanding responses to product launches, or even modeling reactions to major societal events that might otherwise be too costly, challenging, or ethically complex to study with human participants. Does anybody know an AI? For some reason, I believe I saw a video once where you can create an AI of yourself. I know I've seen this, an app that does this, where you talk in a video, you talk in the camera, and it creates like an AI. It takes your voice. I know I've seen this. So because I would actually do this to see if it works, and I would put it on air. So if you know what is the name of? I know I've seen the app, and it's going to drive me cray because I can't remember the name of the app. GBT? No. I know there's a GPT. I think that's what it's called. But no, I'm looking for an actual app that does this because I have seen it. I've seen the app where it says you can make an AI of yourself or something like that. Yeah, no. GPT doesn't do that. Chat, no. I'm talking about, so for example, I'm talking about, for example, I can make a video and of me talking, and it would look just like me. It would be a video of me, of my image, and I could do a script, and it could present that script because I've seen it. I don't think AI chatbot does that. So I guess the commercial was this: you talk in the camera, you're talking, so they give you a script, and you're talking, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then what it does is it captures your image, and then if you want to put in a script, you can put a script in, upload it, and then your AI will basically read that script. So I know there's an app that does it because I saw it. So if you guys know that, let me know. I'm going to write these down because I don't remember them either. I know I saw it. It's driving me crazy. Because I would do that. I would actually do this to see if it really works or if it's just a bunch of bunk, which that's what probably it is. All right, so I'm looking at several. Okay, AGEN. Okay, I don't remember. I'll look it up. IMAGI, because I'll do it. Because I've seen it. Because there was man, I wish I would have, because they were talking about how if you have a website that you can easily do it, instead of making videos and making videos and making videos, you can just upload and talk for a little bit. It records your image, and then once it records your image, you can upload a script, and it will read it out, and they will think that it's you. So, but I will look. I'm going to look at all these. I don't know what they are. I don't know anything about all of these AIs, but I did download one of those AIs just to see. Captions app. Well, there's a lot of them. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what a caption app is. So, no, I've heard of Replika, but that Replika, they don't get your image. You can make you can create it. I think you can create like somebody. You can create your own, but it's not your image. Captions is the name of the app. Okay. So I'm going to check this out. So it is captions. Are you sure? Because I'm saying so other people are saying no, it's avatar. So I'm gonna look in right now and CAPTONS captions. Oh, yeah, it is it. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it is. Is that an oh my goodness gravy. Is that I wonder if that's the actual one of them is I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna see if this works. And then you guys can and then I'll play it right here when I do it. And we'll see if this stuff is because that's kind of scary stuff. I don't know. We'll just sign in for heaven's sakes. Yeah, sign in. Sure. Well, it's $5.99 a month. Is it even good? So is this even good? Well, see, so Chad, what you guys need to do is go to my on my profile here. I have the link tree, and right now, as this stands, I will be using Fanbase for instead of TikTok, but that could change. That could change because I might be going to Neptune. Because once Neptune comes out, a lot of people are talking about that Neptune app. So, all right. For those of you on, let me just hold on one second, folks. For those of you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Rumble, and of course, for those of you who are listening to this on podcasts on Spreaker, I'm going to, of course, say goodnight to the Spreaker folks. I'm going to keep the Spreaker for podcast. So I need to upload that again because I took that down. So at least I'll have that. So I need to do that. Okay. Well, that's dumb. All right. Nonetheless. So anyway, for those of you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Rumble, come on over to TikTok because we're going to stay with TikTok for just a little bit longer because I'm going to bring in the moderators. But we're not going to be on for that long tonight. We're just going to chill. And don't forget, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Bible study. So we certainly do hope that you can join us for tomorrow night. My friends, I tell you, your value does not decrease based on someone's inability or refusal to see your worth. You are priceless, and never let any troll tell you or convince you otherwise. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Rumble. Good night.